Normally here what we do every year is we try to give out our annual Mayfly Award that you may have heard about, or if you're first timers to the conference. It is an award that we give to really some long-time conservationists and folks that have been working in the abandoned mine reclamation community pretty much over the course of their life, or have been dedicated to the cause of clean water here in Pennsylvania, and in particular in supporting abandoned mine reclamation and mine drainage and water pollution abatement throughout the Commonwealth. And so if you look on our website for the conference, you'll see some of those past folks that have been recipients of that award, and many of them are here tonight. And what we're going to do is we have an award that will be given out today because one of the recipients was able to make the drive in today to receive his award, and then we have another one that will be coming this evening with her husband, who is a former past recipient, and she'll be here to accept it, and doesn't really know she's getting it, but they're making a stop at the conference, so I think she may find out when she gets here that the gig is up. But for the other gentleman, I'm going to try to give you just a few minutes of his background and his dedication to this community that we all work in and strive to clean up our water across Pennsylvania. So if you bear with me for a few minutes, I'll try and be as loud as I can for those in the back, and we'll bring this gentleman up here after you hear a little bit of background of some of the work that he's accomplished over the years in our community. So this gentleman has been very active with the Friends of the Nescopeck Creek in Luzerne County. This watershed has the infamous Jeddo Mine Tunnel and is the largest mine drainage discharge in the Susquehanna River Basin and the Chesapeake Bay watershed. This gentleman has been involved with the organization since the early 2000s. He's been the glue that's kept the Friends of the Nescopeck group together following the early years of leadership by folks like Drew Magill and Alan Gregory. During these early years, with Tim at the helm, the Friends of the Nescopeck became an official nonprofit with the assistance of their board. They organized several cleanups during this period. He organized a very large cleanup and hired a company to come in and clean up a very steep bank along the Nescopeck Creek as one of their projects in a hard-to-reach area that many of us find ourselves into as well, that otherwise wouldn't have been able to be reached. He's participated and led the Wonders of the Watershed events in partnership with EPCAMR, the Pennsylvania DCNR, Friends of the Nescopeck State Park, and many Hazleton area schools to teach area youth and students about the watershed impacts to the Nescopeck Creek. He's also put together an 8-page newsletter handout that introduces the Nescopeck watershed and the Friends organization to the public as a community education and outreach tool. He obtained a grant from the Pennsylvania League of Women Voters Resources Education Network, otherwise called WREN, to accomplish this. EPCAMR, the Eastern Middle Anthracite Regional Recovery Group, PPL Corporation, the Greater Hazleton Civic Partnership, Rails to Trails, DEP BAMR, and the Delaware Lehigh National Heritage Corridor, and the Luzerne Conservation District were all partnerships. Everything we do has been built on partnerships, as has been with the Friends of the Nescopeck. He even sponsored and supervised an OSM RE Vista volunteer who worked full-time from 2008 to 2009 on various watershed and outreach and education projects. In the last 7 years, Nescopeck Creek, under the leadership of this gentleman with the help of another colleague of his, Gary Leander, started their water quality testing program within the watershed. And he obtained a grant to purchase a veneer testing equipment. In fact, any of the grants that Friends were obtained were all as a result of this gentleman's work. His good friend Gary flushed out the water quality data and produced all the graphs, and then put the gentleman together into a final annual report that gets produced every year. Those reports have been hand-delivered to many of the partners and municipalities within the watershed, and EPCAMR produces some big posters for them for outreach. And the gentleman has participated in most of the water quality testing that has been going on in that watershed. He's represented the Friends of the Nescopeck, all of Nescopeck State Park's Winterfest and Hazleton's Rail Trail Bike and Hike events, some that he was with by himself. He's organized all of the meetings and recently taken care of the meeting minutes, and he keeps Friends members up to date on pertinent Conservation District and EPCAMR activities pertaining to the watershed. It's hard not to call him by name because he's an active member of the EPCAMR Board of Trustees, and he's with the chair of the Luzerne Conservation District for many years. He was also a member of the Cunningham Planning Commission, for years before it was eliminated by the government body. He's taken part in recent efforts to how to address the Jeddo Mine Tunnel discharge in the watershed and provided many insightful opinions on how to approach landowners and partners within the watershed to look at innovative ways to restore the watershed. He has a long history in conservation, including the Conservation District for 2 years as an associate director, 14 years as a district and chairman for 10 years, and he was also on the Pennsylvania Association of Conservation Districts Council for 10 years. So with that, knowing that we all know his first name now, I'd like to bring Mr. Tim Ferrence up from Luzerne County for the award this year. Artist's last name?
Michael Bestwick.
Michael Bestwick. Okay, so. I'll kind of give you the honors of taking some of the cloths off of here, the napkins, and see what this award looks like. Michael Bestwick is one of our artists that over the years that has done some of our Mayfly awards. We've had Mayfly awards done in iron oxide, in pottery glaze in years past by Mark Chuck. We've had many other artists that have come through and provided us with the awards. But this one here, notice the Mayfly on here, and we'd like to present this to Tim Ferrence as the Mayfly Award for our 24th Annual Pennsylvania Abandoned Mine Conference. Got it, Mike?
How are you?
Thank you. Good, good. You have a few minutes?
What
You
do you
want
want to
to,
know?
you'd like to say anything, you're welcome to.
Okay. As some of you know, I came to the environmental movement rather late in my life. And whatever I've achieved, I achieved it because of the support and the knowledge that was passed on to me by a lot of people, some of whom are here today. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. Not because I was a slow learner, but because there was so much to learn. So I thank them very much. And I also thank the committee for adding me to a very distinguished list of previous recipients. I cherish that honor. I worked with many of them, and to be in their company is a definite pleasure. And finally, I would like to thank Whipcammer and Epcammer. Notice I gave them first shot because I was on Epcammer, but in any case, thank them all because of the work that they've done over the years to maintain this conference, which has proven to be valuable, I'm sure, to many of us. I know I've learned a lot and enjoyed the conferences over the years. So I thank everyone and enjoy the rest of your day.